Most interview lighting I see sucks. If you're a cinematographer, if you're a director, a filmmaker, in 2025, you're gonna be shooting a lot of talking heads. I think the challenge with interviews is knowing how to make the most of the time that you have with the tools at your disposal. So you don't have to have a ton of huge lights and a big grip and electric team to make things happen. Like I've worked on stuff where we spend all day, the producer is remoting in, we're literally lighting, we're adjusting a light here and there, we're tweaking a backlight, and you can spend all day doing this stuff, but I also think that is not really necessary. Today, I thought it would be helpful to lay out 3 different lighting setups that I use, sort of based on how much time, how much equipment, and what your team looks like. One little added bonus is I brought out the Blazar Remus anamorphic lenses. These are a really cool new lens set. I'm actually using them on a documentary, and I thought it would be fun to test them out. So you'll see when we jump to the setups, that's gonna be the anamorphic lenses. So maybe in another video, we could take a look at them in detail, but that's why you'll see the aspect ratio change when we get to that. So now let's get into it. The first lighting setup, which is using available light. The key with available light is using it intentionally, finding a way to augment it, and just kind of making things clean so that you can tell your story, look professional, and get your point across. This is the simplest thing you can do, available light, that's still going to look good. This is not gonna win any awards, but it's acceptable. You could give this shot to somebody, they could work with it, they could color correct it a little bit. Basically, we're parked right up next to the windows, which is gonna limit what you can do with the framing and what's in the shot, but this is something you might use in an event or something that's truly run and gun. It's gonna elevate it versus being like, okay, we're just standing under a light somewhere random in the room. If you can sneak away to the window, this is the quick hack to get nice looking footage. It's gonna be acceptable, we can use it, and for you, it's simple. I've added in the flag here just to give like a little bit of contrast, and I've played with the house lights. You might not even have those options, but yeah, that's the setup. 2 cameras if you can. We've got the 45mm anamorphic on this camera. Over here, it is the 100mm anamorphic. So, you're not probably gonna use anamorphics either, but you can kind of see what they look like, and we'll come back to you when we're looking at the softbox. Kind of things. So this is just like a little scrim gym. You can get all different kinds of frames, but what I like about it is it can break down into a few pieces and you can just like throw it in your tripod bag. It's pretty easy to get around, but then it pops together. You do something simple like this. You can mount it with a gobo just on a light stand if you want to keep it minimal, or in our case, we do have C-stands. So I'm going to pop it on this and we'll put it on a Cardellini, put it on the light stand, and then we're just gonna put it right in front of the light. This is basically what we do to get the look. So having the right tools is important because you want to make your life easy. In this case, I have it on a C-stand, but I even take the arm off for this because it's like easier to just keep it clean. The goal of this is like, you want to use this on a source that's big. So we're shooting on the 600D, and I'm gonna pop it up and then I'll crank the output so you can see like how much we just cut, right? So it cuts a ton of light. You can see the quality of light already. Like, look, there's almost no shadows. See that? Okay, so here we have the softbox. It takes that softbox one step further, makes it look just a little more pro. That softer light, kind of the more subtle, more flattering lighting that you can get out of a setup like this. I do have the negative fill here too, because the room's a little bit tight in here as well. You're often gonna be working with constraints. So, we've got the boom overhead. We're kind of all rigged out. So this is the setup, and I think compared to the last one, we're looking a lot better. I've also got a little more space for the B camera, which now is kind of more in the sweet spot. I like to have it off just a little bit from the main camera. But this, I think, is like a really nice way to set up frame and light. An interview that's soft. This is gonna look, I would say, a little more pro. It's gonna elevate your work. So let's get into it. We're gonna start setting up for the next light. The book light is not something you really probably want to be doing completely on your own. Like this is just a little bit more of an advanced setup where you want an extra set of hands. I've got Mason here with me helping out, but so the idea of the book light is we're actually gonna bounce the light off of another reflective surface, and then that reflected light is gonna go through the muzzle. So for one, you need like a pretty powerful source to be able to do this, but then also you need enough space where you can kind of have the room for the book to come through. So I'm gonna set this up right now and then we'll be able to take a look. So yeah, so here we have the bead board. The nice thing with this is you could just get this at Home Depot. That's what I did. I think we cut it down. We had a couple pieces. It's just like artboard, like a foam core kind of thing, and then it's actually reflective on the other side. So this is extremely cheap and easy to get. Sweet. Kind of like having the right tools, knowing what you need. You don't have to necessarily have a ton of stuff, but you want to make sure you have the right stuff, especially when it comes to the grip equipment. Now you could show up with the whole truck, you got everything and that's easy, but if it's just you and an assistant or a gaffer or something, you want to make sure you kind of know what you need and that you got it when you need it. Great, okay, here we go. Whew. It's hot because we took the Softbox out. And again, you probably want to like, that's probably pretty hot for you, right? Now we're gonna grab the backlight. Obviously with the backlight, you gotta position it because you don't wanna see it. It's really more to just be able to create that separation with the background of the subject. In this case, we're using the, I guess this is the 60X, the aperture P60X. And so we're just gonna get this on a little tiny stand. Hopefully that should be better. Okay. Subtle. That's what we're going for. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We got the soft book light. Changed it up a little bit because of the dynamics of the room. When you do something like this, you kind of need to create your own box. So it's helpful to have some more hands, but you can now see like this is kind of my go-to if we have a little more time to set it up, because I just think you get like really flattering shadows. You get a lot of dimension. It can kind of help fill the space a little bit. You know, if I had more time, I would probably get some more practicals or interesting lights in the background to fill it out a little bit. I've got a little bit of a backlight here. It's subtle. Part of the thing with the anamorphic is it's hard to get the backlight if you're not coming in from above, and I don't have time to rig the Avenger for this. So we got just like a subtle backlight. This is the third setup. It's the bounced kind of extra soft light. And I think with these three in the toolbox, there's a lot you can do. So we're gonna flip off the anamorphic lens and then we can wrap up the video. All right, so there we have it. We've got the natural light interview. We've got the softbox interview setup, and we have the book light extra soft setup. So these setups cover about 90% of what we do. Now you might in some situations need a little more negative fill or just a little more fill in general. It kind of depends on the space that you're in. But these are ways, I mean, we did this with just 2 lights. You don't need a grip truck to do some basic lighting to shoot an interview. I mean, I have a van. You probably need something where you can put some gear, but you don't need a ton of equipment to be able to make this stuff work. You just need the right equipment. So hopefully you found this helpful, and if you did, please subscribe. There it is. We're good, right? Okay. Cut?
Sure.